this is one way to measure GDP, which is we typically call it expenditure approach. So imagine like one economy, and that economy, let's say for the convenience, for now is a closed economy. No export, no import. They produce 100 apples. If you like, think about the fruits, all the computer. Right? So the expenditure approach would say, well, like that 100 apples are the GDP, right? Gross domestic outputs within that country. Household purchase maybe 70 of them, the government purchase 20 of them, and the company, they would like to maintain a stock of apple, so they purchase the rest of 10. So like in this case, the output is 100 apples, and consumption, basically the household sector consume 70, and investment 20, government spending 20, and investment 10. Right? So if there's some got export, then you just maybe some of those apple would be exported. Right? So that's of the aggregate outputs in the economy. Now, in most economy or in every economy, they don't just produce one thing, and so they add up things with different prices, and so they measure in either local currency or US dollar, but the idea is the same. Just add up things, spending in different sectors. Okay. Different countries have different composition in their GDP. If we just look at this equation, so for example, in the US, by far consumption accounts for the largest one. Right? On the other hand, here closer to the other end, China consumption accounts for less than 40% of the GDP, and Korea here, Australia is somewhere in the middle. Right? And if you look at the number, it was clear for a while. Not in recent years, things got a little bit better. But if you look at US, consumption got close to 70%, depending on which year we're talking about, but roughly that number. In the Eurozone, where they use the euro as a currency, that was about 56%. Right? And China, somewhere about 37%. Okay? And for a lot of reasons, China or Beijing basically think, well, that number is too low, and that may not be a sort of healthy economy. It may not be good for the resilience of the economy, and they would like to have some policy to change that. Right? So they are kind of hoping consumption could drive economic growth. Right? Basically, the policymakers in Beijing are kind of hoping consumption could be larger, and that drive the economy. To what extent that works? So a lot of people are wondering that. Okay. One thing why consumption as a component of economic growth is kind of desirable, or at least in some aspect that's more resilient, is that consumption tends to be more stable. Okay. There's another reason as well, which is at the end of the day, we care about what are the material available for people to consume. Right? Let it be goods or service. Right? If you need to keep investing most of your output to maintain the output level, at the end of the day, people are left with little things to consume. Right? But there's other kind of more short-term reasons or reasons that relate to business cycle, which is investment tend to be much more volatile. Right? In this graph, we show the investment growth rate in different countries. Australia, Norway, Indonesia. That one I think is the average, and different color and different graph with different color of the lines that plot the investment growth rate in that country. Right? So in almost every country you see that consumption, so investment as a component of the GDP, it fluctuates a lot.